Welcome everyone to HFN, also known as HueFin News. Today is May 28, 2021. We are here to give you all a price prediction in the market for Bitcoin Cash. Now, before I break that down today for Bitcoin Cash, if today's your first time ever seeing our video, you all appreciate how there is actually someone here that is not fudding you, that is not giving you any FOMO, and that is not being too emotional in this space. Then make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe to this particular channel, and always come back and view these videos in order for you to learn more about how you can do the same thing without being dependent on someone else trying to give you an idea as to where price is going to go. Because once you understand this for yourself, you're actually able to move freely in the market, knowing when to get in and when to get out in its space. So you won't be tricked and you won't be dependent on someone else looking at another chart from you. You want to do this for your own reasoning so that you can actually tread through the market without being confused. So always come back and watch these videos in order for you to learn as much as possible, because the charts cannot give you a right interpretation of the market just by simply looking at the indicators. You cannot do that. You have to put a language to these particular charts. You have to put a emotional spin to it, because when you look at these charts, you're actually dealing with other individuals who are entering the market and exiting the market with their positions, whether it's in a profitable position or a loss position. You got to add some emotional aspect to it, and that's what language analysis is able for, that allows us to do. It gives us the ability to place a emotion to the charts, and that's something that we possess. That's something that we do on a daily basis, which is one reason why we don't be too emotional, because we already understand what the majority aspect of the people feel when they enter into the cryptocurrency space. All right. So you guys can even see here in our last video for Bitcoin Cash, we expected the price to go higher in movement. We did what, $1,100 as our top area of TP, which was around 12.79% profitability. You guys can already tell though that the market was able to extend that and go far exceedingly what we expected, which is fine. But we got 12% out of the market. Now you could have got a little bit more if you topped out around 64, 65%, $1,600 around the beginning half of May, which is excellent as well too. But look at the chart now. You know, a lot has changed. The market is not the same anymore. And one reason how we know that the market in Bitcoin Cash is not the same is because of this reason right here. Okay. So whatever anyone tells you in terms of this market in Bitcoin Cash being a buy, obviously haven't seen this ascending line being broken to the downside. We are no longer in an upward trend in Bitcoin Cash. It is what it is. You know, let's not be emotional. Let's not get all up in our feelings just because the market is not going higher. You got to be realistic. It broke. The ascending line is now broken in Bitcoin Cash. So we need to switch our mind frame into thinking that, yeah, we're no longer looking for Bitcoin Cash to go higher. The other two options that we have is just for the market to trade sideways, or we continue to go lower in price. And then once the market switches back over to bullishness, then we'll switch our own mind. But right now, we all need to be under the same premise that the market in Bitcoin Cash is weak because we broke the trend. That's the first thing you always want to see when you look at a chart, is if we're still holding a trend or are we breaking the trend. And the market broke it for Bitcoin Cash on the 19th of May. All right, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. So we're going to create a restriction area then. Since the market in Bitcoin Cash broke trend, we need to see where the market restriction is going to be at in Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so let me take this all the way back to like 2018 to try to get a sense as to where that market restriction currently lies. So it's around $700 to $800. I'm sorry, like $750 to $800 is where that market restriction is in Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin Cash. So let's take a look at this real quick. So you guys can tell here on this daily time frame that the market in Bitcoin Cash came and bounced off this trend. So if you, depending on where you place your line at on the chart, would actually give you another indication as to what the market really is trying to do. But that bullishness that this market was in Bitcoin Cash, take a look at this, is broken. Right, it was the first trend that we was watching into the market in Bitcoin Cash. We broke that trend here. Now we're testing the over longer term trend. So when you see this in the market in Bitcoin Cash on a different time frame, you'll actually be able to tell that we're still getting some weakness into the market, which lets me know that this $800, $850 area is a pretty good area to where there are sellers. Okay, we're still seeing the market give us a lot of weakness here. On the 5-day time frame, you guys can still see here that the market in Bitcoin Cash is still giving us weakness for the most part. This area of support now is at $600. Okay, the market needs to make sure it keeps price above $600 in order for us to maintain the ability to trade sideways. Because if we can't hold $600, we're going to continue to go lower in price. Okay. The 3 weeks time frame is something that definitely lets me know that the best outcome that we can get in Bitcoin Cash is just for this market to trade sideways. And that sideways trade is going to be between $800 to $600, right? Now the overall weight is being pushed on $600, meaning that we can actually increase the probability of us breaking that to the downside rather than us breaking $800 to the upside. Majority of the weight, majority of the sentiment into the market in Bitcoin Cash is that breaking support below $600. But for the moment, we can still see the market actually try to hold that. So this is it right here. What I'm going to do, we're going to continually show the weakness into the market in Bitcoin Cash. The support area around $600 is where I'm actually trying to expect the market to try to come through and bounce from there and try to go higher. But again, the overall weight is being pushed on that $600 area, right? So all of this weight, all of this weakness is being pushed down on $600, which the only way we can stop it from being pushed is actually seeing a increase in volume on strength to show us that the market really wants to hold price there at $600. Right now, we're not seeing that. Okay. So actually what I'm looking at into the market is just really for this currency just to continue to trade sideways. And that sideways trading is going to be between $875 back down to $600. That's the area that I'm actually looking for this market in Bitcoin Cash to trade. So from like $600 to $875, which is like 46% range from high to low. Okay. So yeah, actually, I'm not going to put in a price prediction into the market for Bitcoin Cash. I really want to see the market come down, test some areas of support first. Because if not, we have a bigger movement to the downside to go through in the long term. Okay. You know what? I'll go ahead and do a prediction on the market in Bitcoin Cash going lower, but we're going to have to play this on a smaller time frame. All right. This is not one of those daily to weekly time frames that I usually do for Bitcoin Cash. I'm really focused in on this area of support here around 650. Back down to 600. Okay. So there's still about 11% drop into the market in Bitcoin Cash right there. That we can actually see this market in Bitcoin Cash come and find some support. And I'm going to bring it down towards 800 for restriction. Okay. So relatively small, but you guys can see that I'm not really expecting too much in terms of price movement. Just to reiterate what I said earlier, a lot of the weight is being pushed down on $600 to hold support. So we need to see an influx of more volume. We need to see a little bit more strength come through the market around $600, because if we don't, we will break this longer term trend to the downside. All right. So given the overall sentiment to the market, given what we've been through over the last couple of days of last week and the massive drop we've seen across the overall cryptocurrency space, we'll have to continue to play the weakness. We just have to. So all of the bullishness, all of the movement that we've seen thus far was just simply the market trading sideways. And currently we're still seeing that there is still a lot of weakness involved into the market. Bitcoin Cash is not the exception. So we're going to continue to play the weakness until we see strength come in around 650. I would say 650 to $600. In between that range is where we'll TP out the market. So $650 to $600. All right. Again, this is not a long-term view. We're looking for this to really play out in the next 2 to 3 days in the market in Bitcoin Cash. Not looking for this to play out in a couple of weeks. The market will have moved massively in the next week to 2 weeks time frame. So what you all see here on this price chart is only for the next 2 to 3 days, maybe 4, if the market just continues to trade sideways. But currently, from what we've seen, the market really hasn't gotten back into that environment of bullishness, right? We haven't gotten back into that environment to where everyone is simply buying up these currencies anymore. So let me know. Drop the comment in the comment section. Tell me where do you all expect the price in Bitcoin Cash to go. This is not long term. This is only for the next 3 to 4 days. So give me your price prediction in the market in Bitcoin Cash in the next 3 to 4 days, because in that time frame we can still get 12.5% out the market. So let me know. Make sure you maintain a profitability, and as always, trade different.